Good morning, everyone. It's so great to do yet another LINX conference in New York. LINX started in New York a couple of years ago, before COVID, where we had the first conference here. And one of the mottos or the themes for LINX have always been to bring together public sector and private sector. Because we believe in Chainalysis that it's extremely important for the crypto sector to grow and flourish, is to always have this tight connection. It's about finance. It's about ensuring that everyone is safe. It's about ensuring that we can grow an industry. So it's innovation, like weighted out with protecting society. So that's the core beliefs, and that's the core ethos of the conference today. So to start out, I'd like to share a few thoughts with you on the industry, where the industry is going right now, what's happening in the world today. So this one here, I've been saying over the last couple of weeks and months that, well, actually many years, that crypto and the normal tech shares and the total tech market will merge. And what is happening here, we took these data out a few days ago to show the movement of share prices in the tech index of NASDAQ and compared that to the price of Bitcoin. And there's clearly a correlation here. And the way that I see this is that we basically are watching an asset class maturing. So we see that crypto is moving from being this new thing that's extremely volatile, and you can't claim that that's the same anymore. It's actually see that it moves into become an established asset class, similar to a lot of other pieces of finance. So it's a proof point that it's a real investment asset, and that there's actually resilience in the market. And I think another important thing that probably has been on all of your screens and devices, you've seen Terra and Luna and the story around that. We just saw again that it actually didn't impact crypto much more than it impacted anything else. It was isolated, which again means resilience, and that's one of the core features of crypto. Another thing that's probably been on everyone's mind, especially in the crypto industry, is what's happening in the market right now? Are we entering a bear market? What is going on? And the way that I looked at crypto is that I go back in the crypto space for almost 11 years now. I got into the space actually at a conference here in New York in 2011. And what I've seen over the years is that there's always been these like growth curves, and then it crashes a bit and it stays there for a while and it grows again. The way that I look at this today, looking back at things and the importance of what has been built, is that the phases where everyone joins. They joined because they're excited about everything that was built. But everything that has been built is built in the times where it's more calm, where there's actually not thousands and millions and billions of new users joining your platforms. There's time to build and think and build new things. When we look backwards, some of the times Ethereum was built, other times we saw ICOs happening, we saw stable coins, we saw NFTs being built in the last cycle. And what I'm thinking about now is that whether we enter this cycle or not, it's very important to think, what are we going to build now? What as an industry and as societies should we focus on this time around? And I wanted to highlight 3 different things for that. First of all, multi-chain, and I'm coming back to that. Everything is about multiple blockchains interacting. Secondly, we need to handle consumer protection better than we've done so far. And finally, national security threats are extremely important and very core to me and to our company. So let's dive into the first one. So on the multi-chain here, so one of the things that we do in Chainalysis, we work with a lot of different blockchains, a lot of different assets living on not just one, but on multiple blockchains. And what we see today is we also see the emergence of layer 2 with Lightning, for example, and we see a lot of new blockchains emerging with, for example, Solana, which is a high throughput blockchain. And we see that there's a need to be able to work with asset that's moved between the blockchains and do that the right way. So that's clearly an area of focus. We have a little presentation a little bit later in the program today of a new launch of a product we do, and that's about really focusing on how do we solve analytics on blockchains in a multi-chain world. One of the important things is also, as a compliance company in Chainalysis, when we look at all the different assets and we screen a lot of funds, We screen on a monthly basis $1 trillion worth of assets. And that's across multiple different blockchains. So that's the size of the operation, and also that shows that that's the size of the economy that we're looking at scale in the crypto space. So another area of focus, as I mentioned, is consumer protection. And one of the things that I think is extremely important on the consumer protection side is that the way we solved it in the past was to leave people out. Let's just exclude them and say, this is too dangerous an asset class to be part of. So a concept was introduced that's called the high net individual, and they're okay to lose money, but everyone else can't. Just today, last 24 hours, 135 scams received money. And that's just over the last 24 hours. It is a huge problem. It's a huge problem that individuals are being scammed. It's billions of dollars that happens every year. And last year it was, I think, 2 to 4 billions or so. So we clearly see a lot of money are lost there. But the way to solve it is not to exclude, but it is to figure out how we work with companies, how we monitor for the scams, and how we can prevent that from happening and keep it contained. Last but definitely not least, I want to mention national security concerns. They are real. Just over the last 24 hours, $15 million went into criminal activity on the blockchains. 11 million of those went to the Lazarus Group of North Korea. So that's just an example of nation-state threats are real. And the dollars being sent there in cryptocurrencies, they are being sent to a nation-state that used them to build weapons and destabilize our world. We also see that from Russia, who is part of cyber attacks, who basically organize a lot of the cyber threats around buying tools for cyber attacks using cryptocurrencies. It helps investigations because you can now follow the money when you are solving cyber crime, but it's still a problem, and it's something we need to take extremely serious. So, as I see it, is that we need to move from a point where we're just playing defense here to also go offensive and figure out how can we grow and build and protect our countries against this threat that's actually very, very real. That means that we need to ensure that we work towards better budgets, understanding how we can build out those capabilities. And at Chainalysis, we are clearly here to help and brainstorm on that. So again, one of the main ethos here for the countries is that crypto is here to stay. I think we all believe that, and I think what we also have to do is we need to build on all these three things that I just mentioned here, and we need to do that together. We also need to come together between public and private sector, spend the coffee breaks out there, talk to each other, mingle, learn from each other, and get great new ideas. That's something that will enable a sustainable growth of the crypto economy, and we have a trust and safety for the entire industry. Moving into the program of today, we have 80 speakers from both private and public sector. Hundreds are joining us live, and we have thousands on the live stream.